For most people who get this virus, it is a very mild illness. Certainly we are worried about the elderly.
Do you think at all that your rhetoric around calling people anti-vaxxers, some of whom were vaccinated, has had an impact at all on vaccine take-up in parts of the territory?
No, and I'll repeat it. If you are anti-mandate, you are absolutely anti-vax. I don't care what your personal vaccination status is. If you support, champion, give a green light, give comfort to, support anybody who argues against the vaccine, you are an anti-vaxxer, absolutely. Your personal vaccination status is utterly irrelevant. If you campaign against the mandate, if you campaign against people being vaccinated in vulnerable settings, teachers in classrooms, I'll be really clear, at that point in time, people were actually supporting the idea of a teacher being unvaccinated in a remote community classroom with kids who cannot be vaccinated. I reject that utterly, and I still reject it. And if you are out there in any way, shape or form campaigning against this mandate, you are absolutely anti-vax. If you say pro-persuasion, stuff it, shove it. We are absolutely going to make sure as many Territorians as possible are vaccinated.
I just want to stress the message in regard to vaccinations. Clearly we continue to see in the public arena messages coming out from some people who would describe themselves as anti-vaxxers and others who have, for various reasons, opposition to vaccination. Can I just stress that anti-vaxxers obviously live in another universe, and others who give messages that this virus isn't dangerous and don't get vaccinated clearly have no medical or scientific training. This virus is an extremely transmissible virus. It can kill you, and it can kill your family and your friends.
So the first thing about protesters is, this is not just about being anti-mandated vaccination. They are anti-everything. They are anti-lockdown. They are anti the shutdown on international travel. They are anti-mask. They are anti-social distancing. They think that everything will be solved by taking a horse deworming tablet, ivermectin, that gives you the runs and that puts some people in hospital. They are literally in a fantasy world. So if they've taken mandated vaccination as a hook, so be it. But let's not pretend that these are otherwise rational individuals. They are absolutely wacky. They are just an insult to every healthcare worker who, on this day, are treating some of them with the best of care in Victoria.
Our leaders are pleading with people to get vaccinated and today issued a personal approach to cut through the fear around AstraZeneca. Dr Kerry Chant speaking of her own family situation to convince people that the jab is safe.
There's little appetite for the AstraZeneca jab in areas that need protection the most.
There is a perception that the vaccine, AstraZeneca, poses a risk.
People have lost confidence in the AstraZeneca, so people are wanting the Pfizer vaccine.
Authorities are desperately trying to restore the faith.
Can I also remind you not to listen to the scaremongers? Understand, for example, that if you're over 60 and you get the virus, you have a 1 in 200 chance of dying. If you're over 50, you have a 1 in 500 chance of dying if you get the virus. If you have the vaccine, the AstraZeneca vaccine, it protects you to the extent that your chances of actually dying are 1 in 2 million.
The world is engaged in the largest clinical trial, the largest global vaccination trial ever, and we will have enormous amounts of data. But what's the message for the public? It's safe, it's effective, it will help protect you, but it will also help protect your mum and dad, your grandparents, your nonna, all of Australia.
Voor u, mevrouw Small, heb ik de volgende vraag waar ik een duidelijk antwoord op wil. And I will speak in English so there are no misunderstandings. Was the Pfizer COVID vaccine tested on stopping the transmission of the virus before it entered the market? If not, please say it clearly. If yes, are you willing to share the data with this committee? And I really want a straight answer, yes or no, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Regarding the question around, did we know about stopping immunisation before it's entered the market? No. We had to really move at the speed of science to really understand what is taking place in the market.